Are live.
No, I mean it's low. Doing the same thing. Yeah. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can.
No, they can't.
Pardon?
It's doing the same thing it did last night. Playing or not? Okay. Still disturbed.
Don't get it.
What did you just do?
You fish my hips, or even flat. So father, fish is your one-stop gap. Capital with furniture sand. Capital with furniture sand. Raise the temperature with a helping hand. And that's some garlic on top of that sand. It will turn, your plants will grow, and all of your fish will have a happy hand. Father fish, so father fish. Your one-stop wonder if you keep fit. Starring Sir Father Fish and all his followers on the Father Fish channel. Over to you, Sir Father Fish.
Well, hello. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mary Page. You.
Well, shoot. Some bad sound to some no sound. I'm doing well. Thank you. How are
Nice
you,
to
Bobby?
see you. I'm okay, thank you. David's asking how church was.
It was nice. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to. It's a little more of an easier going church, I guess is the best way to put it. It's really nice. We have great worship, so that's the main thing. Do a lot of singing, and I enjoy that.
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
They have a little Sunday school, and then they have then we go back to the church, and the kids go with us. They don't put them in nurseries, so it's a lot of fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Abolished Aquatics, hello. T-Bone, David Mann, Posiwi, Petraman, Roman Chirac, all in tanks. And here, Fishy, David Mann, we got everybody. Tanks, David Piper. And on and on and on. Lee, nice to see you. Hello, everybody. We're going to be joined a little later on by Aquafunk, right? Aquafunk. He's doing a giveaway, and he's asking for recommendations from people as to. I'll let him explain it, but it's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. That'd be exciting.
Cassie B is here. Hello, Cassie. Cassie's making dinner. There she is making dinner, right?
That's right.
She needed to use her phone and show us what's in the pot, but she probably won't do that. Oh, Lordy. Real quiet day today at the shop. Just not much going on at all. And hardly anybody come in. I keep sending people out when they come in. It's darndest thing. People come in. Well, it happened again today. Couple came in. They just set up a 10-gallon tank yesterday with a little water, some bacteria treatment, little chlorine remover, and about a pound of gravel in their 10-gallon tank, and they're ready for fish.
Yeah. Hello.
So I said, no, you're not. And then we talked about it a bit. And they said, well, we can't do it now. It's too late in the day. We got mother-in-law visiting, so we'll be back next week. And, the reality is, I probably won't see them again. They probably won't come back. They'll probably go over to the pet supermarket and pick up some fish and take them home, and they'll die. And they may do that again because they'll take them back and get their guarantee filled.
Right.
And then they'll die again. And then they'll quit. They'll give up because they'll be too embarrassed to come back and admit that they screwed up.
And then we'll be the ones buying the tanks off of Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, or maybe even
exactly
out the side of the road because they throw them out.
Yep. Happens all the time. It just, it's, I don't know how to deal with it, I guess. It's happened 3 times in the last 2 weeks where I've had people come in. One of them I talked about was a couple who came in who had spent quite a lot of money, probably $1,500 or so on I don't remember what size tank, like a 55 or something.
Nice.
And there was a lot of very fancy fish in it already and looking to get a discus. They did not have a heater in the tank. They had an inch of gravel in the bottom, plastic plants. I mean, it was a disaster in the making.
Yeah.
So I talked to them about it, and they got offended. And I try to be kind. I try to be gentle.
Right.
I try to be supportive, but I don't want to sell fish to people that I know they're going to kill either immediately or in a week or two.
Yeah.
And then I've got to make it good. So I wind up, being out basically whatever they buy, because I have to cover it. I just, when people lose fish, they buy my fish. If they lose them within a week or so, I make it good. I cover it. I give them credit.
Right.
Even though it's never my fault.
That's because you've had ethics and, you've had a moral the way you
Well,
treat
I just
them.
want people to be successful, you know.
Right,
I don't want them to be burned.
right.
Abolish aquatics. Are there any rules when it comes to what plants we can float and which ones will die off from floating too long? Any plant that's floating and growing is not going to die off from floating too long. If what you're saying is that you want to put plants like, oh, swords, for example, or Vallisneria, you need to float them for a while before you have a chance to plant them. A day or two, 3 days at tops. Don't let it go too long. If you have fish in there, the first thing they're going to go after is the roots. So the fish will be, I mean, the plants will be struggling from the beginning once you do get them planted. Um, there are times, and I do it too, when you've got plants, you're not ready to plant them, you got to float them. So you float them 2 or 3 days tops. Don't let it go longer than that. They will begin to disintegrate. You need to get them down in the dirt or down in the sand at least.
I wondered about that. I also wondered about the little lead weights they put on them. Are those safe to keep in your aquarium, or does the lead do anything? Or
Well, it holds it down. It doesn't hurt anything. Um, if it's a bunch plant, like 5 or 6 stems of plants, it'll hold them together, and they'll tend to grow fine. That way, it's not a problem. It's not like they're going to get fatter and
right.
and burst or
Yeah.
anything. They grow long. They don't get thicker. They just get longer.
Okay.
So it's really a helpful way uh, to have a clump of plants growing together rather than individual ones. That always tends to look better too. So I tend to leave them on. I don't take them off mainly because I want to sell them that way. But I recommend to people that they leave them on unless it's something. Excuse me. Something like the little short grass plants, tall or short, where it comes in a clump. There's no weight there, but it comes in a clump. You can plant that clump as is, but I find it's better if you break it up a little because they come in a pretty good sized clump, and if you break that into three or four pieces, there's still 10, 15, 20 plants in each little section, and then plant those. It'll give you a better start. It'll allow you to cover a larger area. And, if they're going to grow, it'll just look better.
Well, since you're on the subject, I've got one more question about it because, well, I know there's a lot of new people that come in that don't know, but like, you said, float the plants for 2 to 3 days if they're like in a pot, right? And try to get them out of there in that some amount of time. Then the bunch plants, we can actually leave the weights on them. What about like the ones that come in that rock wool or that jelly stuff? Does it need to be like 100% off of the stuff, or is it okay if a little gets left behind? Or
Well, two different things. The jelly stuff; those are all started by culturing. Um, that's a different thing altogether. And you can plant them with the jelly. It'll break down. It'll disintegrate in the tank. It'll actually melt. It'll disappear. But that can be helpful. The wool is another matter entirely. The wool just tends to rot, and it can rot the roots as well. So it's best if you have a plant that's potted in wool that you get all the wool out. I use the end of my tweezers, kind of tease it out, and then shake it real hard in a container of water. I try to get as much of the wool out as possible. The roots in those plants tend to be short, so getting that wool out gets the roots in contact with nutrition right away. As I said, the wool tends to rot. It stinks. It creates a black mass under the sand. It's really kind of nasty. When you try to plant the wool, it just doesn't work very well. It's used by farmers in order to fertilize. They put fertilizer in there. It's like an aquaponics system where all the rock wool is doing is holding the plant in place, and then they fertilize the water, so it's getting a lot of nutrients, but the wool itself does not contain nutrients. Um, the nutrients are flowing through it essentially, so you can grow them that way if you're gonna do like liquid fertilizer. But if you've got a deep sand bed, get rid of all the rock wool and plant the plants. They'll do well. They'll do well right away. They've been growing. They're used to feeding. They will be fine.
Good to know. Hey, at 6:02, Posiwi says, I'm ready and confident to start a second and third planted tank, thanks to you, Father Fish. I only have 5-gallon tanks. What do you recommend plant-wise and easy with no CO2, since we're on the plant
Right,
subject?
right. Well, the thing that's nice about a 5-gallon tank is it's shallow enough you can get light down to the soil or the substrate level pretty good. So you can do some of the really low growing plants and expect to get decent results. If you're going to do that, you might even keep the water level low for a while to give them a good start, and just try to keep a real strong light. Things like Cuba or any of the grasses, anything that's low growing, the micro swords, all of that sort of stuff. Um, in a 5-gallon tank, they'll just do better. The other thing you can do if you're doing the deep substrate is don't do 2 inches, do 1 inch, and then plant those plants because they're pretty shallow roots. You're not going to be able to plant them more than about ½ inch anyway. So with that substrate, the sand cap only being an inch deep, it'll give the roots a better chance of being able to find nutrition. Um, so yeah, I like planting very small tanks because you can really do much more with them even than with very large tanks. You can do the low growing stuff, and that's what's always hardest to get going, particularly without CO2.
I've noticed that because my little 2-gallon, I've got like a little 2-gallon, a 3-gallon, and 5-gallon, a couple of those. And I've got them done just exactly what you just said. I've got about 1.5 inches of sand in them. And they do really well. The plant, like you said, the light goes down to them and it doesn't take as many plants. Or hardscape. You can get a small piece of wood and it looks like a big plant.
That's right.
So that's some good points there. I think
Right.
that's great. They always say go bigger usually for beginners, like get the biggest tank you can get. But you can do
Yeah, I'll buy that.
tank.
Yeah.
Or like a jar
You know,
like doing.
the only reason they do that is because the more water you have, the harder it is to pollute it all.
Right. But it can be easier to do some few water changes on too. That's the way I look at it. I take like a cup
Right.
out. Doesn't even have
Well, the other thing is if you try hard enough, you can pollute anything.
to. Yeah, exactly. You got that.
Well, there are people that try pretty hard.
They sure do.
Let me get this.
Who else has come in? There's Stephen. Stephen, the biologist, is here.
Hi, Stephen. How are you, sir?
Chalupa, no tomatoes.
Got it.
Morgan Cork. Wonder who that is.
Ooh,
See.
a fish is here.
A fish is here.
Joey is coming up.
And then we're waiting on Aquafunk too. All
And
right.
here Fishy is saying, yeah, look at the earth. Well, right, exactly. Oh God, I had a mess tonight.
And
On
then,
my way out the door,
mhm.
my big discus tank.
Uh-oh.
I had asked a couple of people to change the filter. I've got a canister filter on it, one of those round clear plastic things. They're about the only ones that I find that work well. The water had slowed down to a trickle, so it needed to be done, and they never got it done. So I looked at the tank, and it was crashing. There were dead angels in it. So I pulled them all out. Hey, Joey.
Hey.
Hi there. Oh, we're going to see your tank tonight. How
Yeah.
nice.
A little bit. I tried to.
Y'all are in for a treat. Look at these. There's my favorite one right there. Like you can see one. I'm pointing. See me pointing. There's my favorite one.
Yeah, there's my favorite one.
I love the black and white ones.
I love her too.
Oh, all the
She's one of my favorites.
horrendous. Look at all these horrendous.
They're just single tails, father fish. They're fancy connets and shabunkins.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh,
I'm not
that's
kidding.
wow.
That's why I keep saying I have really pretty ones.
What do you
Yeah.
over the years, or do you have like a certain supplier you get them from, or is it just one of those
Well,
things
I
you find
bought
them
from
in here
a
and there?
few different people, over the past year or two, and then I've been breeding some of my own. They're really hard to come by. Good ones are really hard to come by.
Those are fantastic.
And you pay a lot of money for them to get them.
Yeah,
But now I'm breeding them, so I'm excited.
they're gorgeous.
Thank
I want to walk over to my TV and look at them. Hold on, y'all keep talking.
I'll get my face out of the way.
Nice.
Thank you.
How many are in there?
I think there's probably about 7. Well, about 10.
Is that a 55?
No, it's a 75.
75. Okay, so it's 18 inches deep.
Yeah.
Front to back. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a really nice tank. It's a great tank. Yeah.
And they're doing great.
The only tank I like better than that is the 125, which is 2 feet deep.
I know, and I can't get one around here.
They're hard. They're really hard to come by. I'm not even sure they're available anymore.
The largest I can get in my area is a 90-gallon, which I have one sitting in my office getting ready to set up. But for me to get something bigger, I'm going to have to go, I don't know where. I looked one time, and the closest was New Jersey. I
Wow.
go down there. So, anyway.
Well, we have somebody else coming up here who got Aquafunk.
Hey,
Hello.
There he is. How are you? Good to see you.
your fish are, Joey.
I'm not
Can we hear you say something, Aqua? Say something. He ain't talking.
Something,
There he is.
something.
Yeah, something good. Oh, that'll work. I just want to make sure we had you audio. We've had a lot of audio problems last couple of days. It's been a mess. So how are you?
I hear like 8 father fishes back to back. I'm doing well.
Yeah, I'm looking at the skyline. You're outside. Just getting dark.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to be able to do some streams in my backyard on the creek, but it's getting dark so early now that it's just too dark to do it. I may figure out a way. So you got something exciting coming up.
Yeah, it's hard for me to understand what you're saying.
I say you have something very exciting coming up. Tell us about your contest.
Yeah, I do have something exciting coming up. All right. It's hard for me to talk. Let me try and go out and come back in because I hear a serious echo when Father Fish speaks.
Okay.
It's like repeating it over and over and over again.
Is it like
So I
that when
can't
we talk to you? Is it
Do you
repeated
have
on you?
do you have your YouTube and your phone both turned on?
My phone is about. I mean,
If you've got YouTube volume, it'll feed back.
Yeah. Let's see. Did have a question or a comment. Millions and Sons at 6:15 says, Father Fish, in regards to garlic for my emerald dwarf rasbora, should I leave it in for a day, then water change and remove leftovers? I hear it's an awful smell if it's left in there too long.
Well, you don't want to put so much in that it's a problem. Just put a very small amount in, which will be enough for them to eat. And if it deteriorates, it's not going to hurt anything. Is that better?
Can you hear us
it's
now?
much better.
Okay. We can.
Good.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I did have my YouTube on. I didn't know that did that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to mute myself.
So listen, Father Fish Lou was gracious enough to give me a couple minutes on his live stream so that I could talk to you guys about something I got going on. Some of you guys may already know. I'm doing an aquarium giveaway, 100% the everything, filtration, all the electrical, all the maintenance supplies, water testing, the whole 9 yards, and it's going to be stocked with fish. I have sponsors to completely stock it with fish. I have sponsors to put plants and gravel in there. I'm gonna do fake plants, but I have all this ready to go to a home that is in need, that doesn't have the funds for it, but has the passion for it. And the only thing I need from you guys to do is to share my last video that explains what I'm doing. Or if you know somebody in the Tampa area or within a 2-hour drive of the Tampa area, northwest, east, or south, to email me a letter saying why it is that person is deserving of this aquarium. I don't need any subs. If the person doesn't want to be filmed, they don't have to be filmed. It's not about that. It's about somebody who might have a passion for it that can't afford it. It doesn't matter if it's a son doing it for his mother or a mother doing it for their son. If it's a veteran with PTSD, if it's somebody with autism, it doesn't matter as long as it's for somebody else. If you're in Toledo, Ohio, and you know somebody in this area that can benefit from having an aquarium in their tank, please email me on why it is you feel that they need that aquarium. And that's all I'm asking is for people to email me letters on behalf of others. That's it.
Wonderful. That's really exciting stuff. Let's post. We need to post your email, Jay.
Yeah, Lori's posted the link, and I think Tiffany did.
Okay, great.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
And
wonderful.
And before and look, I'm not. This isn't just something. This is something that I've been talking about for about a year. I mean, even Tiffany Rose is in there, and she knows because she was gonna help me do this. But we ran into problems with it being too big of a thing. So I'm trying to, instead of me trying to go too big, I'm trying to bring it down smaller. So all I need from people is email. That's it, an email. I have the stuff already to go. I have the stuff. I don't want money from nobody. I don't want donations. I don't want nothing from anybody. I mean, unless you're a big box store. If you're a big box store, get in on it because we could use some big box store support in the hobby because y'all kind of got a bad name. If you know somebody who runs a big box store, show them this email. I mean, show them my video. You know what I mean? But I don't need nothing from nobody. I got it already.
Let me give you a contact, Jay. You know Bill Stiles, William Stiles?
From the aquarium club out here?
Yeah, right. You know who I mean? Yeah. He's been active in Air Club for years. In fact, he's our chef. He prepares a meal at every one of our meetings. He puts together an aquarium every month and usually gives it to a child, and then helps them get started in the hobby. If you have a way to get hold of him, I've got his number.
I actually got his number too. I Styles. I got his number. I met him when and he's doing it. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a fabulous guy, and he does a lot of that kind of thing. And he may know of someone as well. So depending on how this goes,
I'll definitely give him a call. I have his number. I got it when he picked me up to take me down to your house, your place.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, and say hello to him for me. Give him my love.
I will.
Yeah, we're all kind of broken up about the fact that our clubs have not been able to meet for a year almost. And we're just hoping we can get it back together first of the year. Start meeting again. It's a lot of friendships that are on hold. A lot of fish are on hold. And a lot of things on hold, and that's certainly one of them. Well, that's great, Jay. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, like I said, you don't have to live. You could live in Timbuktu if you know somebody in the area that could use a little bit of joy in their life, and just email on their behalf. That's all I'm asking is for somebody to say something nice about somebody else, because that's not happening a whole lot these days. And I'll be 100% honest with you. A lot of this is I need to see this happen. You know what I mean? I need to see that.
Yeah, I do. I know what you mean.
Filth.
Yeah.
So please send an email if you know anybody. 1 to 2 hours away from the Tampa area, and you're like, hey, this kid, he's doing awesome in science, and they just don't have the money to have an aquarium. Then I got one for him. And the way it's gonna work is with the emails. I'll stop reading emails in December 15th. And when I find that one email that really hits me on the 1st of January, I'll start making arrangements. I'll announce who wins if they want their name to be announced. Some people don't want their name to be announced. That's fine. Who wins? And I'll show you guys, the whole process of getting their aquarium. I'm gonna sit down and talk to them and give them a private tutorial on basic aquarium maintenance, and find out what fish is right for them. And
well, I'll tell you what I'll do, Jay. I will donate the dirt and the sand to be able to do a natural substrate.
Oh, that's cool.
That's sweet.
I appreciate that. I really do. But like I said, all I really want is for you guys to get the word out, to get emails in. That's all. Now, Father Fish, in your particular situation, if I come across somebody who has a little bit, has some knowledge, and they want to get into a planted tank, then I will definitely go in that route. But I don't know what these people want in their tank yet. I have to sit down and talk to them and see what their personality is and what would fit their situation the best.
Well, good luck, Aqua. Good luck, Jay. Yeah, this is going to be great fun. I look forward to being helpful.
I just want emails, guys. That's all I want. Thank you so much.
All right.
It's a sweet project.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Amen. Amen.
I gotta go. Catch you guys later.
Thanks, Jay. Love you. Take care. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, sweet man.
He is.
Sweet man.
Just
So
a question.
I was on the phone, and I don't know what you were all talking about before I came out.
Not much.
No.
Well, we're we were not talking about you. You don't need to.
Well, I hope not.
Not a bit of it.
You were, right?
I don't think, were we? No, I'd lie if we were.
Well, it better be good because I can rewatch this. You know that.
That's right. Oh yeah, that's right, isn't it? Ah,
You can't hide from me.
can't hide. Get trapped. Get trapped all the time.
Oh, there you go.
Really nice to see you, Joey.
Well,
Love to see your pretty face. I really
oh,
enjoy you being here. I do, absolutely.
thank you. Well,
So,
I
all
wanted
right.
to put a fish tank in because I was like, I really do have fish.
I like it. Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I keep a lot of fish, but obviously my single tails are my passion. So
Nice.
Look at them. They just love me.
They do.
What are we doing?
I don't know. I'm trying to see.
Yeah, all in tanks. Talking about Jay, looking for a low income family with school age children who are interested in owning an aquarium and can't afford a setup. Well, I'm sure I can come up with some. I'm sure all of us can. Let's get some names into them. And you know, if we do this right, we can do more than one tank. We can donate some more stuff, and you know, maybe get, depending on how many letters get written, maybe get enough to get tanks to all of these kids. That would be terrific.
It would be. If you let me know how those, I'll donate. I'll make a donation. You know, money.
That'd be great fun.
So.
You bet. You bet. Let's see.
Because I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. Can't really help.
Yeah, I know. You're way up there in the frozen tundra.
Yeah.
Open. What is this? Morgan Cork. What's he talking about? All be essential business. Oh, talking about another lockdown, I guess.
Oh.
Well, don't get a chance to catch the news. Well, you know, that's become a problem for all of us. It's hard to figure out where the news is being broadcast these days. Stephen.
I avoided it.
Stephen, the biologist. Thank you. I've been away recently. I lost touch with most community members and fish keeper discussions. Welcome. We're happy to have you back, Stephen. And just really look forward to your new website coming up and your veterinary service. That's going to be, I think, an enormous boon to the hobby. I'm just personally very excited about that.
Going around in the feed right now. Do you know who Gil the goldfish is? I think a lot of us do, but there's a video that's been shared, and I'm hoping, but he's I guess he's really in bad shape, and
Who are you talking about?
they listed under Gil the goldfish. Did y'all drop his link by any chance? It's at the end of it, but I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I know that it's something with an illness, and
Yeah, I don't see it.
have you seen it, Joey?
Gil the
I'm not
goldfish.
seeing it. I just see the same thing you see. I don't think I see the rest of it.
Okay. I haven't got anything. I saw part of it, and I was talking to Roxanne about it, but I didn't. Then I came on here, and I didn't really get to the rest of the. But apparently, he's needing some kind of help. But thought we
Yeah,
could get
I'm
these.
not finding it.
Let's see if we can
There
get
it
a little more.
Lori got it. Thank you, Lori. I meant to say thank you to you a minute ago too. Lori's always.
Lori got it.
Mm-hmm.
She got the link.
She's got the link there. We showed your calendar yesterday. Priscilla's here. with
Hi,
that beautiful artwork.
Oh, trying to get Gil to 100.
Okay. I know
So
he's.
we'll get every Gil and subscribe.
There we go.
I
Thank
just hit the
you.
thumbs up. Everybody hit the thumbs up because I forget. I get busy myself. So.
And thank you so much for telling me about that, because I was aware of it, but that definitely needed to be shared out. Thank you, Father Fish.
I'll have to look into that.
Have I missed any questions?
I know. I'm trying to see any questions. I think it's not as many questions.
Can't see this. Okay. Priscilla says she's lurking.
Priscilla does a lot of work. I think she's busy.
I
I
can
haven't
show her.
seen Priscilla in a while.
Yeah, that's that beautiful calendar I showed off yesterday
Yeah,
that she made.
Ah,
really nice.
well, we'll give Priscilla a wrench. She's got that coming.
I think you should.
Done and done.
Let's
There
see.
you go.
There
Say
was
something,
somebody
Priscilla.
else too. Let's see. There was somebody else that could have used a wrench. Let me look. Are they still here? I can't see through my eyeballs. They're Sandy Daughtry.
Yes, and yep, you're right. Sandy didn't have a wrench.
Where is Sandy?
She was a little ways up.
Up here around.
Maybe she
Okay,
can say something in the chat.
616 is the last time I saw her, I think. Yeah, just you remember me showing this yesterday, don't you, Father Fish? All the beautiful.
Yes.
Yes, that's
That was really quite nice.
Trying to find your face.
Priscilla's calendar.
Yeah, I just showed
Got
you.
it.
So beautiful.
Really pretty.
I got Sandy.
We're talking about fish, so
Oh, good.
might as well show some more.
That's right.
It's so pretty. Here's Father Fish's favorite right here. Aeropona.
It's a nice one.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So what happened in the store today was exciting today, Father Fish?
What, Lee? I'm T-Bone. Can't with you too. Thank you, Marco. Oh, did you get to see it yesterday, Marco? Okay. 6:34. Father Fish. What's your betta fish always? What?
Is he frozen?
I think so.
Because I asked him a question. I think he's frozen.
Can you see that one at 6:34? I'm gonna have to go get my glasses. Like I really can't. Yeah, it's from suspect.
From who? I'm sorry.
Suspect.
Oh, suspect.
Father Fish, I think you're frozen.
I think he's frozen too. Father Fish. Which betta fish?
Yep, I can't see it.
Something in a cup.
In a cup, yeah.
I really hate.
That's the one.
Okay, I think they're just saying that they don't like to see betta.
Oh, okay.
In a cup. I think that's what they're saying is they don't like to see
Thank
bettas
you,
in a
Joey. Cup. Thank you. I can't, like I said, my eyes are just. It's my makeup. I've decided. I thought I'd be cute and put mascara on for everybody. And for 3 days, my eyes run. It never, occurred to me it was new mascara.
So
guess
you're allergic
what?
to it.
Yes.
You're allergic to the mascara. Okay. Don't use that one again. Okay, I'm up here all alone. Hello, peeps.
You're not alone, I promise.
Okay.
Right here. I was trying to find my glasses.
Like,
usually when I walk off, I'm just right here beside
okay.
you. I don't go anywhere. I don't have anywhere to go. I love being guys. But I really need my glasses. Oh, I see them.
Yeah, so he'll be back, and I don't see any more questions. Okay. Oh, I guess Tulip, Yeah, okay. I
Shall
think
I-
everybody's talking about the bettas and the cops in the store.
Okay.
That's
Just
the way they sound. We
smile.
just hope it's temporary, you know?
Now I got my glasses on.
What are you gonna do?
Hello, Scott. Now there's another one that needs a wrench.
Yes, I was just gonna say hello, Scott.
We'll
Yes,
see.
you're right.
Set
Scott
it.
does need a wrench,
Fish.
but we're gonna have to wait till Father Fish makes it back because he's just not here.
We'll say, can you set it with other fish? Are you saying, can you set it with other fish, suspect? Like, can they be in a tank with other fish? Is that what you're wondering? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't understand the question.
He's moving.
Where are you?
Hey, Joey, what
Yes.
temperature do you keep your goldfish at?
These guys are just room temperature, but they're sitting at about 73.
Okay.
And that's probably, most of the tanks in the house are about 70, 73. When I'm raising the babies, I have them right up at 80 when I have the fry, if that helps. But they can go colder, obviously. But they wouldn't be as active, even in a home, if they were at 65 degrees. The other thing for me, they're more active if you keep, a lot of oxygen going through the tank, keep a lot of filtration, a lot of, bubbles, and just keep that water moving. They'll swim around like crazy.
Morgan's telling on me. She
Can
knows.
you all hear me?
Yes.
We can. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And you're
Yeah, I
back.
got knocked offline.
I know. I asked you a question and you didn't answer me.
I know. I lost connection.
Yeah,
Oh,
you were
okay.
frozen.
Posty, we say a micro bubble question. My sponge filter, exmeratic kind of an in-tank canister has micro bubbles driving me nuts. Any ideas? Oh, talking about like you're getting like oxygen or bubbles inside the canister.
Yeah, you probably sponge filter
Okay.
intake canister. It probably has a stone in it. Just take the stone out so that you get bigger bubbles and don't get the micro bubbles. I see Morgan is scolding her mother.
I saw that too.
Right.
Hey, Roxanne. Hey, Roxanne, we shared Gill the goldfish out. She was the one that was telling me about it earlier.
Oh, really? She found it. Yeah.
Your fishy says, I'm horrified to learn snails eat fish eggs. Even bladder snails, the Malaysian trumpet. Do they eat fish eggs?
Oh, yeah, they sure will.
I'm terrified with you now. I didn't know that.
Well, you need to pull the eggs out.
Mm-hmm.
Cassie found a home for her goldfish today.
Oh, yeah.
She went over to. We'll have her tell the story tomorrow.
There's Scott. Hey, there's another one that could use
Oh,
a-
Father Fish, Scott Aquatics needs a wrench.
Yeah. We were great minds thinking alike right then.
Okay.
Is that everybody? Just I know Scott's does.
I
So.
think that's everyone I've seen so far.
Okay. See what time is it? 40. Does anybody have a topic that they would like to hear something specific about? Let's ask the man, the myth, the legend. He's not paying attention to me.
Yeah, I know. I think I need to reboot my YouTube because it's not. It dropped off and I'm just going to reboot it.
Okay.
Come back on.
Right.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm just
I didn't
Re-
know,
We'll just keep doing what we're doing.
Joey,
Yes.
T-Bone thinks we keep missing his compliments, but we didn't miss them.
I have.
We saw
What
him.
was his compliment? No. We could hear it more than once, right? Mary?
Yes, Petra, man, I do. See my eyes? I just put makeup on before I came on, and it's just getting me. Snail talk. Chalupa's No Tomatoes says, please do some snail talk. How about that? Oh, and Roxy has 2 Fishmas carols. Good job, Roxy. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, your daughter is asking how many snails are too many snails.
Let's see. Oh, no. How much food do you eat, Morgan? She's only got a little 5-gallon tank.
Oh.
But one of them was, I think, a ram's horn. I believe that's what it was.
So here FISHY is moving.
All right.
They sold their house.
We're trying, Chalupa. Near us. Moving all these tanks.
Right. Yeah, I like nearites.
I like nearites.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that's nice about nearites is you can find them in pretty much any body of water.
Yeah.
True. And they, obviously if it's not brackish, they don't reproduce, so you're not overrun with snails if you don't want them.
Right.
And they are great algae eaters. They are.
They really are. They're perfect. And they're very, very hardy.
They are machines. You can see them, they leave their track through the algae. You can tell they're working,
Yeah.
Miss Rick is asking, has anyone kept any more
Murmurids, yeah, elephant nose.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always got them, or usually have them anyway. They're pretty hardy. The only issue with them is they really need to be fed live worms.
Mm.
Those and the ghost knives are another one.
Yeah.
Ghost knives will eat regular fish food, but they do so much better on black worm.
On the live food.
Thanks, Roxanne.
What is this whole conversation Stephen's having? Is it with Petra Man about bettas?
Oh,
Yes.
So I think it was Suspect started it with asking about bettas in a cup, and Stephen was talking about how, unless you could afford like a better racking system and all that stuff, that's kind of like
the cups. Right.
That's like one of the reasons I won't breed my bettas, because I know that I'm going to end up with 100 babies, and I'm not ready to put up 100 jars yet.
You will not wind up with 100 babies. And I'll tell you something. If you breed your bettas and keep them together, they will grow up together and they will not fight with each other. It's only when you start separating them that happens. You can grow them right up to maturity together and they'll be fine.
And putting them in a tank like we do with you, a heavy planted, nice jungle.
Right, exactly. Yep.
All that helps.
You can always start pulling the bullies out if it comes to that.
That's how I do it. When I start to see an aggressive one, I pull it and it gets jarred.
Right.
Because you have to,
Sorry, Julie.
That's okay.
I got a lag.
I think we all do,
Yeah.
That's how we end up talking over each other.
I was going to ask Father Fish, have you ever kept any wild bettas?
Yeah, I have. I've never done real well with them, though. I started keeping them back in the 60s when I had a couple of other people where we were all members of the Potomac Valley Club in Virginia. and there was a big push on like late 60s to do wild bettas. So we had some coming in, and we were doing. There was a fair amount of breeding going on. I never bred mine, but I did keep some back then.
I think Suspect was still on the betters and asking about, if they're growing up, that you could even keep the males together. And yes, as they're frying growing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, for a long while, for a good while.
Yes.
Yes.
now I don't know about your guppy babies, so Suspect. They might not do very so well if you mean keeping them in there. That what you see that one, Joey?
I'm sorry, what?
Let's say Roman.
Yeah, you
What
got
you asked me,
Romans
Mary?
at
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
640.
pushing the limits of the planet deep substrate. 10 gallon, 25 guppies, 7 wood CPD, 2 chili rasboras, no filter, no air, just heat, and lots of plants. So in a 10 gallon, he's got 25, 32, 34. They're all tiny fish.
Yeah.
So 30 some fish in a 10. I do typically for fish that size, I'll do 50 to 100 in a 10 to 15 gallon tank. I don't have 10 set up, I have 15s, but I'll routinely do between 50 and 100. But they're very heavily planted tanks, deep substrate. I do feed every day, but I feed very sparingly. I don't put enough food in to really get them beefed up. I try to keep the biology as stable as possible by not putting a whole lot of food in there. That's cool. We'll see how it goes. You can the guppies are gonna continue to explode it. You should be able to do 100 fish in there comfortably. And the other thing that'll happen is you'll get more plant growth. So the plant growth is going to provide more support for the fish. Generally speaking, the more plants you have in a tank, the more fish you can have. So if your tank is chock-a-block solid with plants, it will house more fish. They really don't bump into the plants or get crowded out by them at all. It's rather the reverse. The plants give them better places to be comfortable, more structure, and most fish like structure. They prefer living in an area where they've got a lot of cover.
Right.
We typically don't provide near enough cover because we want to see them. But
that's true.
yeah. But the more plants you have, the more fish, the more fish that tank will support.
Do you see any more questions, Mary? I'm not seeing anything right this.
Yeah, Lee's talking about his alter ego here.
Yeah,
Is that a question?
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
I mean, it's fun.
Really.
Everybody's just chilling.
Oh dear.
He has 150 guppies in that aquarium in the summer. That's a lot of. Sounds like Petroman talking about all his guppies he has.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, my situation's different trying to grow them to sell. So, I have to do things differently for that. But,
Yeah. I just love, that tank behind you is just so pretty. It's just beautiful.
Thanks.
Beautiful. See, the black and white one reminds me of an Appaloosa. Or a real, no, well, more like a paint.
Or
That's funny, isn't it?
I just like something spotted. I like it.
Spotted horses, right?
You have too many questions for Seaweed? Well, fire one off.
Yeah. Father
Go
Fish,
for it.
question.
You're running out of room, Petro Man. Okay. Okay. Can you see that one?
Hey, Seaweed.
Yep. 651.
Yeah, what is everyone's opinion of green neon rasbora? Spotted blue eye pseudomcgill, red neon blue eye pseudomcgill, Epistogramma elizabethae, Epistogramma borelli, or Epistogramma agassizi. So what's the question?
I was like,
Opinion. They're really pretty, is my opinion. I like them a lot.
I was like,
There's an opinion.
we said fire away, and wow, okay.
Jay,
Let's see.
do you want to keep them all together? Was that the question?
Yeah, I don't know the question either.
Yeah, I don't like keeping.
They're pretty, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like keeping a lot of epistogrammas together. I prefer to keep like I find that trios work well. You can mix them with other fish, but I don't like to have even two males of pistos in the same small tank. In a big tank, it's okay, I guess, but they just naturally squabble. The pistos are like rams. The German rams are the same way. They will seek dominance. If you got them in a little tank, one of the males that eventually is going to wind up in a corner trying to get out.
Right.
So you kind of want to watch it, putting things like that in too large groups together. They're so expensive; it's hard to afford to do it anyway. So
Right.
it's kind of a non-issue. Where is that? I wanted to look up something.
John Larson was asking, like, with no water flow in the tank, that will benefit the guppies. So if guppies with big fins, I think is what he's asking, does it make it easier with no water flow in the tank? You know, it benefits the guppies with big fins, no stress swimming. I believe so, right? Don't you want to have, if they're fancy guppies?
I don't get the point. What is?
If they're fancy guppies, is it easier for them if they have no flow or low flow in their tanks? Kind of like a betta, isn't it? Not have a high flow in there for fancy.
Well, the critical thing is to be able to keep really clean water. So a sponge filter works well with them. It kind of reduces current and provides pretty good filtration. I like to not crowd fancy guppies. I think it's also important to keep the sexes separate as much as possible. Yesterday, Alex did a piece on guppy on male guppies being how can I say it, being sexually aggressive. And I had some thoughts about that that he was not willing to entertain at the time. So I just kind of dropped it. But then today it came up in a different way. Somebody made it was looking on a Facebook page, and they had some very fancy, really beautiful long fin red swords with the gonopodium, which is the male. It's essentially the male sex organ. So elongated that they had to breed them when they were still very young, before that got too long. And then someone made the comment, "What about clipping?" And it's kind of interesting, and it bears on what Alex was talking about. The notion. Oh, Suda McGill's. I'm distracted here. I'm looking at pictures of the Suda McGill's, the Tanganyikas. Wonderful fish, hard to keep, hard to get them really developed. You need a pretty sophisticated system, or at least sense of fish maintenance to be able to do them. Well, I want to get back to this a second, though. The business of the gonopodium and the aggressive way in which a male guppy will ostensibly harass a female. My experience with guppies, breeding guppies, line breeding them, is that the male only does that when the female is receptive. And she may be more interested perhaps in one male than another, although I've never really noticed that kind of behavior among females. When she's receptive, the dominant male at least is going to just continually breed or try to breed with her. Now, here's the thing about guppies breeding or any of these live bears. The organ that they use is actually the anal fin, which is normally flat, but it is structured in such a way that it has essentially two parts to it that when it swings forward form a kind of funnel that funnels the sperm not into the female. It does not actually enter the female. It's not like a mammalian kind of breeding. It touches the ovipositor, and if the female is ready, that ovipositor will have the internal layer of itself exposed in such a way as to allow those sperm to enter her. If that's not true, the male's not going to be interested in her. So the males are not going around trying to breed with everything, including tadpoles, frogs, other guppies, whatever. They're interested in breeding with females that are ready to be bred with, and their activity does not include any kind of action that would in any way damage, tear, or otherwise disturb the female's ovipositor. So they're not gonna tear her up. They're not gonna create kind of damage. They just barely touch her, and the touching can only be effective if she's receptive to it. If she's not, he's not interested. So I know that's not a popular notion, and there's not been really adequate research on it. The mentality is that that male live bearers actually insert their gonopodium into the ovipositor of the female, and that's simply not true.
Interesting. Let's see what time. Oh, it's 7 o'clock, Father Fish. Excuse me.
What else we got here? That's all they do all day. Well, if it's true, it's because the females are receptive.
So all the aggravated males do is because she's really she's ready to be bred or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, as I say, I don't see them chasing the younger females. They don't. They pretty much leave them alone.
I noticed my males. They keep.
I can show you guppies right now where they're males and females together, and the males are ignoring the females. They're not having anything to do with them at all.
I would agree. I mean, I have tanks, and they're not. It's not constant. You know, they just
Right.
swim around, look for food.
Right. Here, Fishy's saying she's asking for it. Right. Exactly.
Well, there's a term in animals, and I guess we all know what that is. So it's the same
Yeah.
Like that. Right.
kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah.
She just, what did you do? She silenced herself there.
Well,
Oh, dear.
I don't want to say it.
That's quite all right. Quite all right. We'll have a private session afterwards about this.
That's right. You know.
Really. What else? What else?
Well,
What
John
time is
also,
it?
he's kind of agreeing. He says the males have to save their strength, and it's true. They can't run around all the time. You know.
Yeah, wear themselves out. Get on
Exactly.
fish. Yeah, there are animals that do that. I mean, birds will do that. When they're breeding in breeding season, that male will wear himself out.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
And that's true of many animals.
Right.
Is rough. Uses up all the energy.
It is a subject breeders need to know about. You're right, Vasily. A lot of us are breeding, a lot of people breeding fish in here.
Yep.
Oh, I think so. I think a lot of people breed fish, and they're not trying to breed fish because the fish just do what they want to do.
Yeah. When it's kind of interesting, it's almost comical. People talk about I bred so and so. Actually, they did not. The fish did, but they did.
That's like when I say I bred angelfish. I didn't breed them. I just had a happy tank.
Yeah, exactly. They bred themselves, right?
I
Yeah.
just put the ones together that I would like to breed, and then
Right.
that's what you hope for.
And watch what happens. Right.
That's right.
Exactly. Well, we were at the witching hour here, girls.
We are.
What am I supposed to do about my 50-gallon now that it's perfect? What do I do about all the breeding? What do I do now? Damn it. He doesn't learn. He really doesn't. I mean, I've been explaining this. For 6 months. And he's still whining and moaning about the same thing. He just wants his hands in the tank. That's all it is.
That's right. Let's see.
Well,
I think it's a perversion, Lee. I think you want your hands in the tank because you think that somehow you can participate in all these blessed events that are occurring. But your job is to observe and support. And you do that remarkably well. And I know it gets frustrating, but the solution is really very simple. You need to get your apartment sold, buy a new home, set up a fish room, and then have so many tanks in it that it'll run you ragged trying to keep up with it.
right.
Then
Then you'll be happy you don't have to clean it.
right. We all have other hobbies outside of fish, don't we?
Absolutely.
It's just you, Lee.
I have them.
Well, Joey does. Yeah, Joey has a lot of
Yeah.
hobbies.
I mean, I was talking to a horse person. That's why I was late. Talking about a horse.
My hobby is YouTube, I think. My alternative hobby.
Well, it looks like
what
it.
else? Right.
So my question I asked you earlier was, did anything exciting happen in the store today?
No, nothing at all, actually. Well, I was complaining. You can catch it on the rewind.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple who came in with a little 10-gallon tank. They had set it all up. They put half an inch of sand, of gravel in it, And they got their water ready. They said it was all fully cycled. I asked them how long they had it set up. They said 24 hours, but they
Right.
put a lot of chemicals in it because somebody sold them a lot of chemicals. So by the end of the conversation, they were pretty well reconciled to starting over again with dirt and sand, but then put it off for a week because the mother-in-law was in town. And they had to pay attention to her. So yeah, I won't see them again
Mm.
until everything dies 2 or 3 times. And
Right.
then if they really want to do it, they'll come back. If they just are prepared to give it up as a bad effort, I'll never see them again. I'll probably wind up with their tank, but you know,
I bet
like
that happens a lot.
that does happen a lot.
Yeah.
But it's kind of disheartening. I mean, they were walking out the door, and I was saying, I just blew off a $50 sale because I could have easily sold them $50 worth of stuff,
Right.
and then they'd have been back in 2 or 3 days with
Yeah.
with a rack full of dead fish, which I would have had to make good. And I just, I don't know. I've done that 3 times in the last 2 weeks. 3 times I put people off who wanted to buy fish because their tanks were not ready,
And
and I haven't seen them back.
right.
They
I
were
say that's
basically
the
offended.
problem. You have a conscience, and the box store doesn't.
I don't know. I think sometimes it's not so much a conscience as an ego. I think I'm. It's like one woman said, "I don't like to be lectured to." And I said, "Well, that's what I do." You don't want to be lectured to, go to Pet Supermarket. They'll sell you whatever you want.
Right.
And then,
And then some. They'll sell you what you don't need.
yeah. And she,
And they'll
you know,
lie.
she was mightily offended that I was telling her that she needed to learn how to keep fish. Even though it was her first thing, she never had them before. I mean, it makes me nuts.
You're scaring me.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
scaring me. I'm afraid. I'm not going to show you more tanks. You might lecture me.
yeah, probably will.
Shame on you.
I know.
I know. I'm just, I'm trying to be nice and not get into it. All right, ladies. Let me see if I can play a song. So far, it ain't working at all. But,
It
maybe.
didn't work tonight.
No, we didn't. We couldn't get the volume up, I guess. I don't know quite what the problem is.
What did you do this morning? Because it finally worked.
Yeah, it worked real good at the very
Yeah,
end.
I turned.
He turned his dick and he's gone.
Right. I turned my and there he was gone.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, y'all. I
Mary,
really cannot see.
I hope we're not going to have to sing.
Oh God, no, not again. I can't even see.
I can sing. I just don't know all the words to Lee's song.
Right. Let's talk about fish, baby.
Baby,
Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things
and the bad things
that can be. Let's
that
talk
can be.
about fish. Instrumental
go.
break.
Yeah, I sing it to my dogs. I change it to their names and
There he is. Hello.
Hey, we were just singing.
Okay, good. Somebody better. I ain't doing no good. I ain't doing no good at all over here. All right, let's do Lee. Can you hear that?
Yep.
Hear it. Uh-oh. Okay.
It was better a second ago.
Yeah, now it's down again.
Yeah, there we lost it again. It was good. It was really good.
We love that instrumental break.
Yeah. We need an instrumental break.
Yes, definitely do, seaweed. He has some nice plants. It's still down. I can barely hear it. We can act like we
Yeah.
hear it. Yeah, I'll put them up.
Oh, well. Thank you, ladies.
Here,
Thank you.
look at those angel
Love,
fish.
love you all to pieces.
Love,
Love
you
Okay.
too.
We did that. We did
Okay.
the tail end.
We did what?
The tail end of that song.
Do you need us after this, or do you want to stick around?
I don't know. You want to hang around and chat a bit?
Can.
We can do
if you
that.
want to.
Sure. Let me end the broadcast here. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Love you
everyone.
all. See you in the morning.
Oh, Lee will
My new song. I love your new song, Lee. Let me see. All right. I'll play his new song.
Oh, and Suspect said, remember to send the Discord link out.
Yeah, somebody post the Discord link.
Y'all have a good night.
I'm going to play Lee's song here.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe. If I can. I don't know if I can. Lord. Jeez.
Good night, everybody.
I don't know where I am or what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. Your channel.
I got it in my head.
That'd be good. It probably might be the only way to hear it.
I'm the person over here, dancing silently.
Baby. That's my little
I'm
girl.
singing it in my head.
Hi, Cassie. I think she's still here somewhere. Maybe.
Oh, here we go.
Yes. Is this a new one? I can't hear it. Uh-oh. Hold on. Here comes kids. Let me turn this off a second.
I love it. I love it. Ah. Good night, all.
Bye-bye.